Hey, I'm Claire,
And I'm Janice.
and this is The X-Files, a podcast about breakups, broken hearts, and moving on.
We are breakup coaches here to help you beat your breakup
Heal your broken heart.
and move on to an amazing, abundant life. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of X-Files. Yay! We, as always, are so glad that you are here. I'm, as always, so glad that Claire is here. I love having like scheduled girl talk through the week. It is very, very good for the soul. So,
It is.
hello, my dear.
Yeah, it's kind of like being, kind of in like college again.
Yeah,
Because you're
definitely.
like, ooh, and then at 8 a.m. I go and discuss a topic in depth.
It's a little more fun than that.
Yeah, I guess it's a lot more
It's
fun
funny
than that.
though that you say the college thing, because when I was in college, I had two really close girlfriends and we just used to sit around and just shoot the shit for hours. And I just thought that we were the most hilarious three women on campus. And that was when I very, very first got my dream of having my own radio show where I would sit around and, talk about dating and guys and things like that. And now I'm kind of doing it.
It's happening.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have a fun topic, an important topic to discuss today, but we thought we would do a couple fun announcements. The first is that for a while, we've been kind of thinking of how to give a thank you to our loyal listeners and connect more with the people who listen all the time, the people who leave reviews. And so we've come up with a cool idea. We've got some really cool stickers that we have created, and we would like to send them to you.
Yeah.
So we are starting it up. If you leave us a review on Apple, get in touch with us with a screenshot of the review, and we will send you one in the mail with a handwritten thank you.
Yeah. And we've designed these to be like low key and discreet, so no one will know that it's like a breakup sticker,
No.
But
we took a lot of effort to make sure that it would be inspiring. In fact, head over to all of the IGs and you can see them.
Yeah, we'll share some pictures of them once we've got them here, but we've designed them and they are winging their way to us right now. So
I love getting things in the mail. I love sending things in the mail. So this is really exciting for me. We are going to trial doing it internationally. But everyone just bear with us, okay? We're gonna do our best. We're gonna see what happens. But
shipping internationally has been weird with this. But
I think we can swing it. It seems like if it's a letter,
letters are okay. Yeah, so stickers were like the perfect idea for.
Yeah, exactly. We can send them near and far. Yeah. So, like I said, DM us the screenshots with your address, and we'll be in touch.
Cool. Awesome. So I'm so excited. And the screenshot is just because there's usually a lag time between like when you hit submit and when it gets posted, and then it's not your like real name on there. So we want to be able to send these to you ASAP. Yeah. Yeah. So but we want to thank you. And we also think they're really cute. So
definitely I'm stoked.
Our next announcement is that Janice and I both have room in our coaching calendars for the upcoming month. Yep. We have kind of a variety of ways that we work with people that do differ. In our Facebook group, we have like kind of a menu of services. So, but if you don't want to join the Facebook group, just go ahead and send us a DM. Like we try to make tailor. I know both of us are really open to tailoring our services to like fit your needs. So if you are looking to work with someone one-on-one, we do coach separately, just, you know, FYI, so you're not disappointed. You're like, I can't get both of you. No. So yeah. And so just go ahead and send us a DM and we'll give you more information about
Absolutely.
coaching.
We love to connect with our audience about coaching and wanting more support. So we would love to hear from you.
Awesome.
All right. So let's get going on today's fun episode. Yes. Are you ready to date again?
Are you ready? I
love that so much.
We get a lot of questions related to dating again in our community. And it may look like how not to make the same mistakes again, how to choose someone more compatible, worries about not being able to find someone, and just general questions about being ready. But they all come down to this one big question.
Exactly. And I personally see a lot of people, I guess, in my practice, in the community, in this dating breakup space, who are looking to date again, like right away after a breakup. And I guess basically because they hope it will make them feel better, or now they're really lonely without their partner around, or that they fear being alone, you know, forever.
And they feel like they're running out of time or something.
Yeah, we've been getting that a lot lately.
Yeah.
And I have very, very strong feelings about using dating as a Band-Aid. And I also, I recently did a solo episode even on slowing things down, but also just not getting really back out there before you work on your healing. So
exactly.
I'm excited to do this episode.
Yay. Dating can be fun. Like it can be really, really fun.
Yes.
It can also be used as a distraction. And it can sometimes lead to even more stress when certain things aren't in place, because we know a lot of our listeners are very intentional people. We thought we'd talk about 10 ways to know that you are ready to date again. So we want you to love dating. We want you to be ready. We want you to be like fully present and in it when you do start again, and therefore being intentional about it now and making sure you're ready will help.
Yes, for sure. So we've got 10 ways to know if you're ready to date again. And as with other episodes in which we give, lists of things, we're not necessarily saying every single thing has to be in place. And also, these are just our opinions. You need to do what's best for you. But if one of these things isn't in place, but you have a really strong desire to get back out there, go for it. We're not, sometimes I think people listen and think that we're saying you have to have all of this, and people sometimes push back on, like one thing that we'll mention. And you know what, we're not necessarily saying it's black and white, or you have to have every single one checked off. You're going to do what's best for you.
Just some things to consider that maybe you haven't. So.
All right. So 10 ways to know if you're ready to date again. Number 1, you have been single long enough to enjoy it. So I am starting out with this one because, as everyone knows, I'm pretty passionate about loving the single life. And one of the absolute truest cliches in existence is what you have to learn to be your own amazing partner before you could manifest an amazing partner, or you have to love yourself first before someone else will love you. You have to be okay being alone before you can be okay with someone else. And I think this is a good example of a cliche that's a cliche because it's so true. And I 100% believe that loving life as a single person is the best foundation for loving life while dating.
Yes. So there's that quote, like, if you're not happy alone, you won't be happy with someone. And
I think that's
what it comes down to.
Yep. But if you're just going through a breakup, or if you do have a really strong desire for companionship, I know that it can be easy to dismiss all the things I say about it. I've also been there. If this is how you feel, I would say, like, examine where the pushback or the resistance is coming from when you hear me say these things. Do you have fears around being single? You know, that could be something to examine. That could be an opportunity for, you know, growth and self-reflection. Are you uncomfortable spending time alone? You know, that could be a definite opportunity for a lot of personal growth. So after you examine your resistance, just, you know, try it out. I would love to say, just take my word for it. Make an experiment out of it. And I say when it comes to loving the single life, this is kind of the type of thing that you can just take it week by week, you know, tweak things as you go, tweak things on the weekend. And the more confident and comfortable you are spending time as a single person, the more confident you become overall, and the more magnetic you are. And then you attract amazing people in your life.
So true. Mm-hmm. So true. Like confidence is like probably the sexiest.
That's what they say. And I definitely believe it.
Yeah. I just know like the days when I am like feeling myself, I get way more attention, like just walking in the supermarket and I'm just like, yeah, I'm hot. I'm amazing. You know, like, guys, look at me. It's funny.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure I get it too.
Yeah. So 2, you aren't talking about your ex and the breakup very often.
Yeah.
So yeah, while confidence may be the biggest turn on in dating, it's also true that one of the biggest turn offs is talking about your ex on the first date.
How many times have you heard it? It is not attractive.
It's not. When you talk about your ex on a date, it's just very clear to the other person that your ex is on your mind. And regardless of what your explanation for doing it may be, the other person will naturally interpret you talking about it as like you're in full resentment towards the person. Maybe you're still hung up on the person, or maybe you're still in love with the person. So take some time to look at how often you're bringing your ex or the relationship up before you download the apps. And I just want to say this did actually happen to me. And like the explanation for it was that, you know, he had been previously engaged. And so it was like more of a serious commitment or something. And
why is that? How is
that was the logic behind it. I think that was the logic behind why he brought it up, but it wasn't a good look. And it totally also, it was clear he was still hung up on her. So yeah,
I think that something like getting into your past relationship, that's more like 3rd, 4th date territory. And even then you have to be careful about how you're discussing it.
Exactly.
And I don't know all of the reasons why it's so unattractive. It could just be that it's kind of a societal rule that you don't do this. And so therefore people think it's gross, but yeah.
And also like, I don't know. You kind of like, it's kind of like saying my current boyfriend or something. It's like insinuating that there's going to be another one. So like talking about someone in your past, it just like highlights the fact that any sort of feelings you develop for this person they've had before, which I think, you know, like obviously they have, like this is the world, like, but we don't want to highlight that, especially on the first date,
for second dates or even before possibly you get together. So, you know, maybe look at how often you're bringing it up with friends, how often you're thinking about it before you get out there and with some people repellent. Okay. I know it's judgy, but all right. So 3, you aren't spending a lot of time thinking about how great the relationship was, wishing things could just go back to the way they were, or hoping that your ex will kind of reconsider, or, you know, kind of testing things out to see if there's still a chance. I mean, I don't even know if we need to go into too much explanation as to why this would be problematic if you are looking to date again. But I mean, seriously, if you haven't released your ex energetically, mentally, you're not going to be able to welcome in a new relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not fair to whoever you start dating too, because like maybe they're really into you and you get like one message from your ex and you're like poof, gone. So yeah, just think
and we're
about
going to
that.
talk more about the communication with the ex as we go. But really, you need to fully release this person before you start dating again, for everyone's sake.
Yes. So, number 4, you are not dating because you feel lonely. So, dating to cope with loneliness is a great way to ensure that you will settle for the very first thing that comes along, because, you know, you're not in a place to have like that authentic chemistry with someone that isn't like tinged with loneliness and desperation. We have chemistry with a lot of people, especially when using the apps and being introduced to hundreds or dozens at a time. And it can be easy to start spending time with someone you have an attraction to just because you don't want to be alone. But chemistry, as we've talked about many times, doesn't mean that the relationship has the makings for a healthy long-term partnership. And so, yeah, this is just a recipe for ending up with someone that down the road you're like, holy, what have I done?
Yeah, absolutely. And as we mentioned with, you know, wanting to secretly get back with your ex, if you're out there dating, it's really not fair for the people you're dating. The people who want a healthy relationship also want to be desired and sought after for who they are and what they bring to the table, not to help someone deal with loneliness.
Fill a void.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, I would not keep dating someone if this seemed to be the case, or if it kind of came out that this was their motivation. I would think that would be a massive turnoff. And I think even if you aren't telling the person, oh, I'm out here dating because I am lonely. I think that this is the type of thing that you can tell.
You can tell. Yeah. And you know, if you're in a place right now, you're listening and you're like, oh, I have been dating because of this, or like, or maybe you're listening to this podcast weirdly because you like are dating and you're figuring out like other people's shit. And you're like, oh yeah, okay, I think that actually may be what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, it may be time to like not date the person who's giving off these vibes. Or if you are the person who's giving off these vibes, like being the mature human and cutting that off.
Throttle back.
Yeah, exactly. Because you don't know like if you're dating someone who is mature enough and emotionally capable enough of picking up on those things, or even acting on it if they do pick it up. Like you might be dating someone who is in that desperate place too, who may not have the strength to say, okay, I'm not going to date someone who's not like actually interested in me. For me. Yeah.
So, it's not a band-aid for loneliness either. So, number 5, this is a good one. So, you might be ready to date again if dating makes you feel excited. So, regardless of any timeline you have created for yourself, marriage, kids, whatever, if you're not excited about getting out there, there's no point. I mean, I firmly believe this.
Don't force yourself to do something.
No, it's not an obligation. You're not going to find someone who you're going to be excited about and who's excited about you. Being in a relationship is optional. I think we put way too much emphasis on it being the default way to live. I don't think that's the case. There's no way to attract someone who's excited about you if you're seeing getting out there as some sort of have to because of age, what not. So this is actually the reason why I stopped dating before I moved to Denver. Is I'd had a really good vacation at one point and I was really kind of excited about life and rebuilding things after a series of complete disasters over in Melbourne. And so I did have one of my very brief times on Bumble. And I went on a date, and I just remember, and he was really, I have to say, he was absolutely lovely. I don't know, he's the type of guy I would have definitely been normally interested in. And I found myself just kind of bored, just kind of not into it.
Not
really don't think it was because of him at all. And then I remember when I got home, I just felt like I don't even want to go on the app. I wasn't excited, so I deleted it. I thought, this is not the energy I'm going to put out there, and it's not worth it if this is how I'm feeling. So what if you aren't sure if you're excited about it or not? Or you think you are, like I thought I was.
Yeah.
So if you're not entirely sure, just try one date, ask one person out, set up one date from an app. You'll be able to tell, even if you're not interested in a date with that person, you'll know you should keep going because you're excited to get back on the app. You're excited to see someone else. You're excited to have another new experience. And if you don't feel a hell yes about that, just wait a little while longer. Obviously you're at least curious about doing it in the near future, but continue to work on things until you get, more revved up about it.
Totally. All right. Number 6, you have taken a look at your needs, wants, desires, and roadblocks. So if you don't know what you want out of a relationship, you will never get it, because how are you supposed to ask for it or find it if you don't know what you're looking for? On episode 36, when we interviewed Whitney Oppenheisen, we talked about her exercise needs, wants, and desires. And so what this is like a list of things that you want, but it takes it a level further, because when you just make a list of the things you want, it's kind of like you're putting really important things and like nice to haves all in one list. Yeah. Like they're weighted the same, and they are not. So needs, wants, and desires breaks it down so you know what are the deal breakers, what are the things that I'd really like to have right now, and what are the like cherry on top. I would love to have this, but it's not, like, if it's not there, it's okay. So needs are the absolute deal breakers. So someone who's honest, someone who like wants kids or doesn't want kids.
Right, exactly.
Like that could be something.
Lives in your area, perhaps. Yeah. It's different for everyone. But.
Exactly. It's different for everyone, but it's something that you're like, I would never sacrifice this. But when you get with someone who's like really hot and stuff, sometimes that can blind us. So
you need to have it down.
And then wants are things that you would really like, but they might change throughout your life. So like right now you're really focused on your career. So you need someone, or you want someone who is going to understand that you're spending a lot of extra time at the office, who's also very career focused. But, like throughout your life, like when you reach retirement age, that's not going to be very important to you then, even though it's very important to you now. So it's kind of like one of those things that changes over years. But it's not something like next week you'll wake up and not want. So yeah. And then desires are like 6-pack abs, likes to go
I'd want a guy with a beard. Yes. Something
or
like
a beard.
That.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, so I guess a desire of mine would be maybe someone who's vegetarian, but I am flexible on that. It's no type of deal breaker. I just think it would be cool to connect with someone over that. Maybe a brewery owner. I have a thing for brewery.
Hell yeah. That sounds fun.
Even though I'm gluten-free, I don't know. I just think they're hot.
They're just typically hot. Yeah, a brewery owner with a beard. That would be.
Yes. Oh my God.
That if you're out there, great.
If you're out there, well,
I don't even drink beer, and that sounds great.
If you're listening to this, you might not be ready to date me, but maybe I'll manifest it.
Well, long game.
I'm in Denver. You never know.
So it's those sorts of things. Like for example, with the vegetarian thing, like it would be a desire to have someone who's vegetarian, but it would be a need for someone who's not a total like meathead who's going to give you crap every time you order something vegetarian.
Yeah, I don't think I could be down with too bad of eating. Smoking would be something I would not be flexible on.
Who's gonna be like, oh, just try it, and you're like, fucking
right.
no.
Yeah, so I guess the need of mine would be someone who respects my diet.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so that's kind of like a living example of how this works.
Yeah, and then roadblocks, those are the kind of the negatives or the deal breakers. So I think the smoking would be more considered a roadblock rather than a need, because you want to kind of keep your needs, wants, and desires kind of affirming, like things you do want to call in, and then the roadblocks would be the things you don't want.
Yeah, and the way Whitney describes them, it's kind of like the barriers on the side of the road, like things are all well and good if you're in the middle of the road, but when you start veering towards that roadblock, it's going to keep you on your right path if you respect them instead of just driving straight into them. So roadblocks. So yeah, because I think we talk a lot about affirmations and stuff. So you could think about the needs, wants, and desires as affirming what you do want, and the roadblocks as like kind of a positive way of listing out the things that you really don't
I mean, unfortunately, when it comes to dating and interacting with people, you do kind of need to know what the deal breakers are and the negative things to look for as well. It's just the reality. And how easily you are able to complete this exercise will, I think, also help you to know if you're ready. And doing the exercise, I think it should be fun, and it should get you excited to meet this person. If you're drawing complete blank or having resistance to doing it, I think maybe
or if you're writing it and trying to describe your ex in the list, and you're just thinking of them, and they're like, okay, so they did this, they were like this, like try not to think about any specific person. This is like your time to like write your life. You don't have to base it on something you've seen in the wild.
I mean, if you learned a lot from your last relationship, it might influence the list. But I guess if that's all you're thinking about, then just wait. I mean, I know when we did the compatibility and chemistry episode, you asked me what my deal breakers were, and I could hardly list anything, which is kind of crazy as someone who's in this space. And I just thought, well, obviously I'm not dating, so it's something I need to probably think about a little bit more before I do.
There you go.
So, living example. Awesome. All right. So this is a very important one. Number 7. I don't believe that you would be ready to date unless you believe that you are worthy of love. Yes. It is very important to look at your self-worth before you begin dating. So do you believe you deserve the best? Do you think that you deserve a partner that will treat you like a queen or king? Are you willing to set boundaries and standards for how you want to be treated? That's very closely related to self-worth. Why? We get what we settle for. And when our self-worth isn't as high as it could be, we become willing to accept less than we deserve and are capable of. We find ourselves in unfulfilling relationships. And this is something that I took a while to work on after dating a fairly, large handful, a handful of people who didn't treat me very well. And I realized this is kind of shit. Why am I doing this? I had a guy tell me that I was stuck up on a date, but he wanted to date me. Oh my God. I would have walked out if that was today. That was several years ago. But I did. I thought, why am I attracting this? And I worked on it. Obviously it's not a, issue anymore. I've gotten to a wonderful place, but it took a lot of self-awareness.
Yeah. So building self-love and self-worth is a process.
Yes.
And if you commit to it, all of your relationships will become more magical. Building self-love could be an episode in and of itself, but for starters, use your journal and start writing a list of all the reasons why you make a great partner. See how easy it is for you to write. Like it could be, I'm a great listener. I like cooking for two, blah, blah, blah. Like all of the little things that make you great as a partner. This will tell you a lot. So start with a list of 10 reasons and then add another 10.
Yep.
Really own each thing that you write. If self-love is something that you struggle with, returning to this list while incorporating other self-care practices will help you build belief in your worthiness over time. The thing is like there's, you can say, I'm a wonderful, amazing human as many times as you want, but if you don't believe it, it's actually going to hurt your self-esteem. But if you make a list of things that you truly believe about yourself and you truly do see, even if they're not like the, common affirmations of like, I am highly confident, that you're trying to get to, if you believe something positive about yourself and you focus on that belief, it will grow your self-esteem over time.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Awesome. So 8, you aren't trying to connect or get to your ex through social media or friends. This is a big one.
Yes, it's a big one. And it's something that people do.
Yeah, it's like they're still... you're just splitting your energy into lots of different directions. So,
yeah, that is a good way to put it. I like that.
Yeah. And it's like, fuck, do you want to be more stressed? So checking your ex's social media, asking mutual friends about them, posting sexy pics, thirst traps, hoping that they will see, or taking any action that you secretly or subconsciously hope will influence them in any way it's a strong indication that you are still too wrapped up in them to welcome someone new. Like, even if you're just trying to distract yourself, like it's not going to work. So
no, it's really, really not. And it creates, bad energy, bad vibes.
Yeah. And when we say no contact, we mean don't even look them up on social media. Like, we're not just talking about talking like one-on-one. We're talking about literally pretending they don't exist. Or at least that no way to see what they're up to or hear about what they're up to exists. So this type of indirect connection with an ex creates a lot of energetic space for them in your life. It's kind of like what I was saying before with splitting your energy into different directions. And it's this exact type of energy that prevents the relationship from growing with another person. Like, if you're still tied to the past, you're not able to like be fully here in the present with someone
completely
new. Yeah. And even if it is just you who knows that you're doing these things and you think you're pulling it off, you will be preventing a true connection with someone new. So just, don't dive into that until you're ready.
Yes. I agree. I think with some of the things that we're talking about here, it could be someone could be listening and thinking, well, I'm the only one who knows, or, they could think that, they're just checking before bed. And so like, what's the harm? But it's bad energy. And you can just tell, the universe can tell if you're still doing these things and connected to your ex, and it's not going to end the way you want it to if you start dating again. Okay, so 9, this is also an important one. You might be ready to start dating again if you've looked at your patterns. Yeah. Did you take the opportunity that a breakup can provide to self-reflect? I think that there's always room for improvement in relationships and how we interact with others. Breakup is the perfect opportunity to look at your patterns and explore how you might improve or show up differently in the future. So this can apply even if the past relationship was, the breakup was amicable. If your patterns didn't necessarily cause the breakup, or the breakup was bad, the relationship was bad, even if all of that is fine, you've still ended a relationship. And I think it's really important to take some time to self-evaluate and look at how you will show up in your new dating journey. Like, this is the start of a new chapter. What is that going to look like for you? So can you think of any examples? Okay, so one could be, okay, using myself and I guess some clients as an example, the going too fast thing. And, kind of looking back and realize that I'd rushed into things too quickly and that I didn't want to do that anymore. Or you could maybe say that you want to work on your listening skills, your nonviolent communication skills. Maybe you felt like you could be more generous, any number of things. Maybe you thought you were too available, little things like that.
Yeah. Like, I mean, just examples from me too. Like, I totally was that person too, moving too fast in a new relationship, getting into new relationships too quickly, without giving myself the time to look at these patterns. So this episode is like 100% a case of do as we say, not as we have done.
Yeah.
In the past.
We've done it. We've done it both. We've done it good and
we've
bad.
Done it both. Yeah. So, like, I wish I had listened to this episode like earlier in my dating journey. And that's the thing. We love. Like, we think about this stuff a lot. Like, so, it's easy to be swept up. So we totally understand. But realizing that is a pattern and being like, okay, I'm going to intentionally, like, even though I'm like, I really want to dive fully into this and, just like totally get swept up in the romance, being like, actually, that's a pattern. That's kind of what I've done every time. And I don't want this to just be a repeating cycle. Obviously, that hasn't worked for me in the past. So, yeah.
Communication skills as well, I think, is something that most people can take a look at. I know I've worked on, expressing my, I guess, negative feelings in relationship, or speaking up when I didn't like that someone did something.
Yes.
It was something that I worked on after one of my breakups.
Yeah, 100%. I'm right there with you, because I was definitely the person who would hold something in until I just just couldn't anymore. And if you share things in like a way that you are wanting to problem solve with your partner, like you are a team and you've noticed something that maybe they've done, and you want to look at it together instead of like, I'm just going to stay silent about it because I don't want to rock the boat. But then I'm going to just like lose it one day because I can't take it anymore.
Yeah. Yes, completely. And also you need to know how the other person responds to being told things or to you bringing certain things up. I know it was actually right around the time that I was working on expressing myself that I was dating someone, and I very, very calmly, one day told him about something from a couple days previous that had bothered me, and God, he just wouldn't take it. And it was not even that big of a deal, but I really needed to say it. And I just felt, well, okay, I guess I know. And obviously didn't stay together. And that was one reason.
Exactly.
Because he felt so threatened by me just bringing this little thing up.
Yeah. Could you imagine if you brought something that was big, what would happen then? So this is part of learning about your partner or your, potential partner. So
look at your patterns before you get back out
there. Look at your patterns. So number 10, being around others doesn't make you sad. Flirting doesn't make you feel guilty. Oof, such a good one. This comes up a lot. It's perfectly normal and natural to feel lingering loyalty and commitment to your ex. This is something that will fade with time, but if you're still feeling it, it's a huge sign that you probably should be putting focus on your healing journey rather than on dating again. And that's totally, totally okay. If this is something that is impacting you, there is a lot you can do to allow it to even help you heal. So first, practice observing the thought rather than responding to it. Feeling guilty or disloyal to an ex because you're starting to get out there again, it's a feeling based on a thought, and it doesn't mean anything other than that you're still healing. It doesn't mean that you are doing something wrong. It just means you're still healing. So recognize that that you should
be together.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that loyalty that you feel to your ex is founded, or that you should continue it. It just means that you're not quite there yet, and that's totally fine. So recognize that it's happening, and then we recommend just setting it aside, or even better, get out your journal and start a passage with the words, "Today I noticed that," and then write about it for 10 minutes. And this really ties into what I've talked about a lot, in that thoughts aren't necessarily true. Thoughts aren't facts. I love that one. Like, just because you're having this feeling doesn't mean that it's true. And so by writing about it as "Today I noticed that," it's kind of like it's observing yourself and not identifying with the thought, which is a really big thing.
Yep. And it really helps you as you start to interact with more people and start mingling again. And I do think, though, this is one of the things on the list that I would really emphasize, that you probably need to hold off on dating if you're experiencing guilt related to your ex, because guilt and shame are some of the lowest vibrational emotions, and there's nothing to judge yourself about. You need to work through this, but they're best addressed before plunging in further by continuing to date and like keep the cycle of shame and guilt going.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So get it out of your universe before you
don't just
bring someone else into
lean into it and keep going even though you feel that way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just it's not good energy to bring into dating either. I mean, this is another thing. Maybe some listeners think I'm woo-woo, but this is another type of energy that people can just feel. I'm positive.
Yeah.
All right. So what did you think of our 10 ways to know if you're ready to start dating again? We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear about your, next chapter of dating. If you've had experiences with any of this, DM us and let us know what you think. If you want to chat about some of this with other people who are kind of going through the same thing, join our Facebook group. This would be a great thing to have a conversation this would be a great thing to have a conversation about over there. I don't know. I really lost it. With that.
Join our community, darn it.
Head over to Breakups, Broken Hearts, and Moving On. We would love to have you. And we wish you luck. If you're not ready, that doesn't mean you're not going to get ready. You'll get there. You'll love it. But just make sure you're intentional about it.
Exactly. And, notice how we're not putting a timeline on this. Like, you could suddenly realize all of these things or one of these things and, do the journaling work and really come to an aha moment. It doesn't mean, you need to spend 6 more months being single,
And maybe
we're just saying,
maybe it's 6 weeks, maybe it's a week,
it's
absolutely different for everyone. Go ahead.
Be honest with yourself about when you actually reach that point. We're just saying, hey, if you get there really fast, great, but be honest with yourself. You're the one who knows, and you're only holding yourself back if you ignore that knowing that you're not ready. So
completely. You're just gonna make the problem worse, really. So take your time.
All right, so we are doing another rendition of Breakup Ballads, Toxic or Empowering.
So I wasn't sure if I was going to put one in here, but we had one of the members of our community post in our Facebook group that they really loved it. So I was really jazzed about doing another edition. And the one we've got is pretty hot this summer.
She's been on the show before.
Yeah. And I hesitated because of that, but the album is just the thing right now. So.
It's, it's really big in the breakup community right now because it's Olivia Rodrigo. And I mean, come on. There's just like, she's got some spicy breakup songs. And so we have to keep, working through them. And I love this one, Janice, because you might not know this, favorites. But this is actually, the piano is done by Taylor Swift. So
I did not know that.
Yeah. Okay. It's like a there's a word for it, but it's not like a sample, but they re-recorded it basically from New Year's Day. So this song is One Step Forward, Three Steps Back.
It's a really good breakup one. So let's get into it. One step forward, three steps back. Called you on the phone today just to ask how you were. All I did was speak normally. Somehow I struck a nerve. So as soon as I heard the lyrics, or as soon as I heard the song for the first time, I'm like, what are you doing calling him?
Of course you struck a nerve. You're calling up your ex. So yeah, not to be too judgmental here, but like don't be surprised that your ex doesn't react in the way that you would like if you do reach out and try to establish contact again. So like I love that lyric because it just perfectly kind of showcases like maybe the thought process behind someone who reaches out and then is like disappointed with how that goes,
which is almost always how it goes. I have so many conversations with people about this, and it's like, well, I want to make sure they're okay, or I want to give them a gift, or they've had this bad thing in their life recently. I want to make sure they know I'm thinking about them. And I'm like, I will never say that's okay, or not that it's okay. I don't want to use that word. I will never advise people to do that because I will always get the person coming back and saying, oh, that didn't go the way I wanted.
Yeah. And, like perhaps I'm just realizing that, this might have been written before they broke up, perhaps, because it goes on to kind of like, really, show how she felt in the relationship and how she felt he was acting in the relationship, and that's all kind of in the present tense. But that's what I thought when I heard that verse, was she's calling up an ex. But then it goes on to say, you've got me fucked up in the head, boy. Never doubted myself so much. Like, am I pretty? Am I fun, boy? I hate that I give you power over that kind of stuff. I can keep reading because I think it kind of goes with the chorus. Okay, cool. Because it's always one step forward and three steps back. I'm the love of your life until I make you mad. It's always one step forward and three steps back. Do you love me, want me, hate me? Boy, I don't understand. So like clearly he, the way he's acting is making her doubt herself a lot. But we don't know what's going on in his head. And just because of what we've been talking about with Am I Ready to Date Again? Perhaps he was in a relationship that he shouldn't have been in.
Yeah.
And she really fell hard for him. And he did not, from the impression the whole album gave, did not seem to reciprocate.
That is definitely the impression that I get as well. The lyrics that stood out to me were this whole I'm the love of your life until I make you mad.
Yes.
So that made me just think of this pattern that some people have of kind of either threatening or saying they're going to break up like every single fight, which that is actually now it's considered to be abusive to do that. And it's just not a good pattern to get into. That stood out to me.
Yeah. And also it's like he was putting her on a pedestal, and then the moment that she isn't perfect in the way that he imagined, he's like, what the fuck? And is mad about it, and the thing is we're dating humans who are not perfect.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
hear that. All right. I really, really like this next stanza. And maybe in some masochistic way, I kind of find it all exciting. Like, which lover will I get today? Will you walk me to the door or send me home crying? I mean, this sounds like one of my relationships.
Yeah.
And yeah, not fun. This is not what a relationship is meant to look like, people. I think that some people do think that it is just inherently dramatic to have love in your life.
Yeah.
And I disagree.
Yeah.
This is not a relationship to continue to invest in, if you ask me.
Yeah. And, you know, like, it's pop culture kind of, I mean, because movies wouldn't be exciting if there wasn't conflict and like, are they going to get together, you know? But it's really portrayed love as this like tumultuous, like just like devastating thing, you know, like think about The Notebook and stuff. Like we got a message that like lifelong undying commitment will come out of a relationship where they're yelling at each other a lot of the time.
Completely. Yes, there's all this focus too on the fact that relationships are work, which yes, that is true, but I think people see work being that it needs to also be hard, and just because it's work doesn't mean it's hard.
Yes. And it shouldn't be quote work from the very beginning. Like the honeymoon period should feel like a fucking honeymoon.
I strongly agree with that.
Yeah. So,
this right here. So it's back and forth. Did I do something wrong? It's back and forth, going over everything I said. It's back and forth. Did I do something wrong? It's back and forth. Maybe this is all your fault.
Ooh, yeah.
She took a little turn there.
Yeah, she's like, you know what? Maybe it's all your fault. Yeah. Yeah, it's, you know, it's like behavior like this that, you know, she's walking the line between being super in love with this person and hating him, which is like a mirror of how he's treating her as well. You know, she's the love of his life, and then she makes him mad, you know.
It reminded me of my marriage, and when things started kind of going bad in the end, there was some crazy gaslighting that I will eventually talk about more on this show, like textbook. And at the time I wasn't able to see it, but then, you know, looking back, eventually I was able to go, you know what? I think a lot of that was actually completely on him.
Yeah.
and feel, you know, good about it, and feel like I learned something about relationships and how I was showing up and being willing to take the blame and what I wanted in the future. And, you know, I do look back and think, you know what? A lot of that wasn't on me.
Yeah.
And that's not me trying to say I'm blameless. No. I hope that comes off.
It's just a lot of it.
But yeah. And I took so much of the blame, and it wasn't healthy. Do you want to read the last little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the chorus again. So instead, it's one step forward and three steps back. I'd leave you, but the roller coaster is all I've ever had. Oh yeah, I forgot she changed the chorus at the end.
It's okay.
It's one step forward, three steps back. Do you love me, want me, hate me, boy? I don't understand. I'd leave you, but the roller coaster is all I've ever had.
Yeah.
This is huge because like breakups, relationships, especially when you're young, you know, I believe the relationship she's talking about happened before she was 18. With someone who was over 18. It's like a little, but when you're forming your idea of what relationships are when you're so young, it can be very traumatizing and change how you perceive relationships should be, the reward pathways in your brain.
Yes.
Suddenly the roller coaster is necessary to even feel attraction to someone. And you have to really work on rewiring those things yourself, because your body and your brain has learned that this up and down, like high highs and super low lows is what love is. And, you know, she may meet someone who's totally wonderful and secure and would be a great partner. And, you know, we hear this a lot. I just don't feel sparks with them, or there's not that chemistry. And people read the like stress and drama of this up and down roller coaster as chemistry. And you're going to end up saying no to partners who would actually be a really good fit for you, simply because you had one bad experience when you were young and it rewrote how you perceive love.
Yes. When you have this type of drama, the passion is, you know, it's very intense. And so when you have problems and fights, it sucks. But then normally the makeup period is, you know, very, very exciting and fireworks. And I think that's what people keep chasing when they get into this toxic dynamic.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but this song, what do you think?
Oh, yeah.
Toxic or empowering?
Well, I think, so it's describing a very toxic pattern.
Right.
But the way she's able to kind of see what was going on and put it into words, like, yeah, she hasn't made any conclusions that are healthy from it, but the way she's able to see what is happening makes me say it is erring on the side of empowering.
I agree.
Yay!
And I think that the fact that she is able to look back, even with all these feelings and the confusion about it, and start to say, you know what, maybe this is more on you. Yeah. I think it's empowering.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Awesome. Oh my God. Olivia's empowering.
Let us know what you think. And also, if you have a song that you'd like us to analyze, and we're also taking suggestions for our happy hour episodes. So if you have a movie you're curious to hear us get drunk and talk about, let us know. We like doing this pop culture stuff.
Yes, we love it. So we will speak to your ears again very, very soon.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, just a reminder, leave us that review. Go do it right now.
Yeah, we're going to send you stickers in the mail. Head over there now.
Awesome. All right, bye guys. Thanks for listening to X-Files, a podcast about breakups, broken hearts, and moving on.
If you like this episode, tag us on your Instagram story so we can connect with you.
And you can find me, Claire, on Instagram at Claire Lofthouse.
And me, Janice, on Instagram at Janice Formicella. If you'd like to join our online community, find us on Facebook at Breakups, Broken Hearts, and Moving On.
And here's a preview of our next episode.
First, I want to say that you are allowed to struggle with your breakup. Breakups can be really painful. They are really painful. I was DMing with someone this morning and she said, I don't know why this is so hard. And my response to her was simple. And I just said, that's how breakups are. So if you're struggling, I want you to know that it is okay. And I want you to write this down. This heartache is temporary.